No. I'm not recording. Well, I am right now. So sort of. Okay. Oh, hey, everybody! Didn't see you there. All right. So today we're going to kind of finish up our our kitchen. So I've got a few things here that I'm just going to take out. For example, I got this coffee maker here, and I've got the toaster there. So I'm going to just real quick run through just a couple quick things that we can do to. First thing, let's go ahead and find our toaster project here. So the toaster project is obviously this. Thing we made in class earlier. Someone at the door? What's going on here? So we have after school going on. Essentially what we're going to do is just open up the .ai file of your toaster, not the JPEG. Find the .ai file, and we're just going to go over here to select everything, and we're going to go to edit and copy, and then go over to our kitchen.ai file, and then just Control V on the keyboard, and there it is. Now you notice it's a little bit bigger than it needs to be, so obviously hold down Shift and shrink it down. Now in this case, we want to look around. We want to make sure that as we're shrinking it down, we can notice that the cord we made is getting thicker in proportion to the actual toaster itself. So we don't want to do that. So there's a couple different ways we can. A couple different ways we can keep that from going. We can go over here to Edit, Preferences, and I want to say we go to General, and over here it'll say Scale, Strokes, and Effects, and that way once I do that, I can actually just shrink that down, and the stroke itself gets scaled down as well. So I can just pull that down. All right, very cool. And notice here that the shadow side and light side are all kind of consistent here. Notice also that if you depending on what layer you click, very well that you click on a layer wherein you can't like hide it behind. Say for instance, if it were taller, in this case it's going behind the wall, but there I don't really want that. So shrink it down to a size that would make sense. Obviously that's about right. If for whatever reason you couldn't, obviously you couldn't make it work, you would want to. Reflect it here to where the shadow side and the light side were consistent with the rest of the drawing. But all right, and so obviously right here we also want to draw a shadow on this one as well. So just kind of depending on how big this is. So this is yay big. I'll just make this the same. Just zoom in a little bit here, and then I'll just.
If I could get Miss Daniel's high school after school group. High School A, Miss Daniels group, please meet Mr. Kopolis in the dining hall. High School A, after school.
All right, and so obviously with this, we want to make sure it's fitting on our axis there, and pull down the opacity a little bit here. So in this case, it's about that much. So cool. All right, very neat. All right, so what we'll do next is we'll create another, shall we say, appliance here. Now, the next appliance doesn't have to be an appliance necessarily, but I want it to be something that involves something round and something glass, right? So I'm going to create this little round glass thing, and then you can do whatever you want with it on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a circle here. I'm going to make it sort of a light blue that's sort of clear, right? So I'll just make the circle here on the inside. I'm going to make it light blue, and I'm going to make it mostly opaque. And then what I'll do is I'm going to hold down my Alt key and drag this off to the side. I'll hold down Shift at the same time. Just drag it over, say a quarter of the way out. Then do that one more time. Alt drag a little bit more, and then we'll hold down Shift. We'll select both of these, and with our Pathfinder tool selected, we'll click the minus front. I'm going to Alt drag this. I'm going to hold down Shift. I'm going to turn this into say red here. And I'm going to make the opacity a bit bigger, or all the way up to 100. And I'm going to hold down Shift and select the previous circle there. Click it again to get the key object made, and just sort of center these guys. And so because I can still see this this right here, I want to make sure this red is on top. So I'm going to Control Shift and close the bracket there to put that on top, and then select that with Shift holding, and then I'll choose the intersect, which will like this right here, and then I'll just hold down I and.
Go to your mom's room. I need Legend High.
Okay, give us a second here. All right, and so now we have this little kind of reflective sheen there. We can even turn this white. I want to say it would even do the same deal. Right, there you go. That would probably work even better. All right, so once again, with this select, I'm going to hold down Alt, and I'm going to drag this upwards. And then I'm going to, once again, hold down Alt and drag it off to the side. In this case, I'm going to change the color to something different. I'm going to change the color to, say, for instance, orange. Well, how about that? And I'll pull the opacity back up. And I'll just, once again, hold down Shift and select the first circle that I made and click it one more time to make it the key object and align this to the center. And then with this on top, I'll hold down Shift and select this, and I can once again subtract from the top there. And I'm going to take this guy here, and I'm going to Control Shift and then put him on top as well. So I can even, hold down Shift and Alt and sort of shrink this down slightly, just to give it more of like a little, make it seem as if there's a bit more glass on the outside.
High school A group. I'm not sure what's going on, but you guys need to
Pardon
meet
this.
Miss Dracopoulos in the large dining hall. She's going to be keeping you today. Miss Daniels went home with a sick child. High school A, go meet Miss Dracopoulos in the large dining hall and stay with Miss Dracopoulos. She's going to take you to her very own classroom. Thank you.
Okay, so with this done, now we've got a couple options. Obviously, we want to make sure we have like the surface of the liquid that we're using here. And so in this case, what I want to do is I'm just going to take make a rectangle here. And I'm just going to click over this, just sort of highlight all this. And I'm going to see if I can't line it up, pull the opacity down a little bit. And I'm going to line it up with the top of my little orange juice guy right here, right? So I'll just click on that, and I'll click on that one more time, and I'll just line these up on the top. And then what I'll do is I'll hold down Alt, and I'll drag this off to the side, hold down Shift, select on my rectangle tool. Actually, what I'll do is I'll hold down Shift, and I'll select on this orange juice one more time. Click this one more time, make it the key object, center it, and then I'll just raise this up to the top. And then what I'll do is I'll just select this, and I'll do, let's look here, how about, we'll do minus front, right, giving us this. I want to say if I go to Object Expand, actually no, let's back that up here. What I'll do is I'll just I'll just Shift M, and then I should be able to get rid of all these things here. So, that's good. Okay, with that done, what I can do is I can grab this right here, and I can just right click on it. Let me just make that into a same color, maybe a little bit lighter, and bring that up to the top here. It's already at the top. I'll just pull it up to the opacity here, and I'll pull it back down one. All right, and what I can do here is I can actually just duplicate it here, transform, reflect, horizontally, copy, and then I can sort of drag this up until it meets, let's think here, say right about there. And then what I'll do is I'll just, actually, you know what, I want to say this might be a bit too much. I could probably just grab this here and just pull this off to the top. Let me just, my A here. I'll just sort of drag this up a little bit. And same thing here, I'll drag this up a little bit. And then I can just sort of arrange this to be right on the top here. So, oops. All right, here we go. Okay, all right, cool. And then I'll just, once again, take this and drag this to the top. All right, cool. All right, that's good. All right, so I'll just, let's see, make this lined up, right? And so from here, what you can do is you can make something that's like, whatever color you want. I'm just gonna make a little oval here, a little ellipse at the top. I'll make it the same color that I had before. Oops. And then I'll make a little shape below it. I'll just hold down Alt and drag it down. Hold down Shift, make it a little bit smaller. Center them. And then I'll take this right here and I'll make a shape that's going to match these two together. So I'll match up this one here. And with this on top, what I can do here is I can, once again, cut that out. Oops, make a copy of this. Center this here, hold down Shift, cut this out. go. And I'll just take this and I'll make this into similar opacity, but I'll change the fill to a gradient, and my gradient options will involve it being sort of blue to dark blue, back to blue here. So you can kind of see what I'm looking at here. Sort of pulls that together. All right, so with that done, essentially what we want to do now is we want to kind of we want to pull this down to here. We can even make this a little bit less opaque here, just a little bit more. And then what we'll do is we'll cut this out. So we'll just sort of alt drag this here, alt drag this out of the way, center it back.
I'm looking for Kamaya Jackson. Kamaya Jackson, if she's with you, call the front office, please.
Obviously match up the edges of the corners here to match up here, and you can even make this bigger if you wanted to, or taller, say. Pull that out of the way for a second here. All right, I'll make this a bit taller just to make it seem more like a juice carafe of some kind. And then what we'll do is we'll just duplicate this, center this back, right? And now we have a little spout by taking this right here and then pulling this from here, cutting this out. Now we have a little carafe here. We could even do the same thing here. We can just sort of pull this into its own gradient, as it were. Sort of make it darker. Maybe make it radial gradient there. That's one way of doing it. Now, obviously, in this case, all you have to do is just make a sort of circular little shape here that's isometric in its orientation. So you can kind of see what's going on. I've got two different sort of options. You can make a little carafe for your juice or water, or you can make a little coffee pot and just make a little machine around it. Point is, at the very end of it all, what you want to do is you want to take this, copy it, and then paste it somewhere inside your kitchen. So I'll just Control V, and I'll just group this together, and I'll drag this over here, and I'll shrink it down, place it right there, maybe right here, a little bit smaller, just so I know it's orange juice and not like a gallon jug. All right, so there's that, and it kind of blends in. It still looks like orange juice. And then same deal with the coffee maker. Just grab this, Control C, paste it, Control V, shrink it down. Make sure that the light makes sense, and then Control. I can just click on whatever I want to bring it to the top here. All right, good, cool. All right, fun. And then make sure that you have a shadow for each one of these things. So I can just copy this, Alt, drag that over here, grab my direct select tool and just sort of pull the different points where they need to go. All right, Alt. I'll drag this guy over here. Maybe even drag him underneath this right here. And pull the anchor points in. In this case, you probably want to make a little circle, but I think this might do. I might even make this even, yeah, I think I'll just make this into a circle. That's on its side. I just draw a circle here. And then just shear it. And then rotate it. We're just going to effect 3D, rotate, and make it. Okay, and I'll just make this super clear, and because it's sort of see-through, and then pull it down to the bottom. Whoop. Maybe a little bit more opaque. There we go. Great. Cool. All right, good. So just all I want to do is just sort of explore, how we create sort of circular objects in our 3D environment here. This is a good little way of doing it. Simple circles with, strategically placed highlights. All right, very cool. Can't wait to see you guys produce.